live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Thanks for joining us for 2 News Live. I'm Heidi Hatch. It is Friday, June 9th. Brian Schnee has the night off tonight. We're going in depth tonight on the amount of record snowpack still to melt in our mountains and what that means for the months ahead. Before we dive in, though, here's a look at what's making headlines tonight. First up, let's start with the new details in an officer-involved shooting. This happening in Ogden on Tuesday. According to police, the suspect pointed a gun at officers and began firing. An officer was hit in the arm and chest. We now know 8 officers returned fire. Police say the suspect was hit several times and died there on scene. Another big headline today, the federal indictment against former President Trump over his handling of classified documents. It's been unsealed. The former president is indicted on 37 felony counts of retaining classified information, obstructing justice, and giving false statements. The former president is expected to be again in court on Tuesday in Miami. Another one today, a teen arrested Monday after officials say he was seen driving twice the speed limit I-15 in Davis County. A trooper who was patrolling says that they had witnessed the motorcycle going up to 140 miles an hour. Again, 70 miles is the speed limit. Police in Brigham City arresting a man accused of driving his truck into City Hall. You can see here the damage from this photo. It's pretty bad. It's estimated to be about $100,000. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us during the show. That's Brian's face. You've got me tonight. You can use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join the conversation. You can always find myself on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, TV Heidi Hatch. Send me a direct message if you'd like to weigh in. For months now, we've been closely examining our winter snowpack, reservoir levels, and drought status. So what do we need to stay on top of and track of since we had a banner snow year? Lincoln Graves is high in the Wasatch Mountains, where we still have quite a bit of snow that still has to come down. Looks like you're driving right now, Lincoln. So, I mean, you can go hiking this time of year up at Brighton, and if you hike high enough, you can find snow, but you don't have to try as hard this year.
Yeah, you really don't, Heidi. The snow is lasting well into the summer. In fact, it's still causing some big problems as well. We actually spoke with the Girl Scouts of Utah. They operate a high altitude mountain camp in the Wasatch Mountains at about 9,200 feet. And they are having to hold their camp in an alternate location this year. It would just melt too late for them. It's an 8-week program, and they're estimating that they would have to wait until early to mid-July before they could use their camp. So they're sort of, abandoning it for the summer, so to speak. They're going to be operating this camp in another location. So at least they get to have the camp, but it just goes to show you how when you go really high up, we're seeing all of that snow. Heidi?
You said that there's a new snowpack report out. We usually don't get those in June. It's something we talk about over the winter months. At this point, how long are we thinking it's going to take for the rest of that snow to come down?
The state, when you average it out, I think they say about 3.1 inches of snow water equivalent. That's how much water is in the snow that's remaining. So statewide, it's only 3.1 inches. That's not a lot, but it is really sort of concentrated up in those higher elevations. So when you go up to Little Cottonwood Canyon, Big Cottonwood Canyon, that is where you see the bulk of the snow in those extreme highest elevations. They say the measurable snowpack will likely be fully melted out by the end of this month. So it's not going to be too long before it happens. And that doesn't mean you won't run into pockets of snow into July and August. That could very well happen. But the measurable snowpack should be melted out by the end of June, depending on weather, give or take a few days. Heidi?
It's been cool so far, so probably optimal for bringing that snow down. So no major problems. All right, Lincoln, thank you. Enjoy your weekend. After our historic winter, several of our seasonal mountain roads are back open again. We want to give you an idea of places that you can go on a weekend drive. So here you go. Guardsman Pass is back open again. Wolf Creek, that's SR 35, open again. Cedar Breaks, that's SR 148, open again. And then East Canyon, they've been doing a lot of snow plowing out there. So hopefully you can get out there and get up there on the mountains. Monte Cristo, not open quite yet. They say late June is when you can expect that. Mirror Lake Highway, again, they're still working to get that open for us in late June. And again, the Alpine Loop, late June. So if you're waiting for your fall leaf experience, it should be fine by then. But in the meantime, they are working hard to make it happen. Happening now, employees from Solitude Resort, they're helping clean up Big Cottonwood Canyon. This is after the record snow this past winter. The resort hosting a canyon cleanup day. It started at Redmond Campground, went all the way down to Willow Heights Trailhead just below Solitude. If you're planning to head up the canyon tomorrow morning, you should expect some delays or maybe try to delay your plans. The Drop 13 half marathon scheduled to begin at 6 a.m. starts at Solitude Resort. Police will be doing traffic control from 6 to 9 in the morning as runners use the downhill lane. Officials say you should consider using the canyon once the marathon is over. This must be a new marathon. I don't know about it. Downhill sounds easy, but that is hard on the hips and knees. So good luck to the runners out there. Yeah, so that's a little tricky. So
you mentioned East Canyon. Just below East Canyon is Little Dell Reservoir. So this is in between Salt Lake and Park City, Mountain Dell Golf Course. We got this shot today. Look how green, of course, everything is.
It's beautiful right now.
This is the dam right here, Heidi. And I did a couple hikes last year, and this water was really low. So it's really nice to see that it's basically full, one of our reservoirs, drinking water reservoirs here in the Salt Lake Valley. We are still tracking a few storms out there this evening, but I think generally you should be okay. Let's get to your forecast. If you have any outdoor plans, we do have some drier air that's been moving in, so these storms aren't as numerous, and we're going to see basically the same thing tomorrow. I can't rule out a stray thunderstorm out there, but it's not going to be widespread, and these temperatures are pretty nice this weekend. 84 tomorrow, and we're going to be 82 degrees on Sunday. The difference, though, is on Sunday we are going to be seeing a few more showers and thunderstorms as yet another storm begins to head our way. If you're down in southern Utah, maybe hitting those national parks this weekend, we're going to have lots of sunshine out there. It looks really nice. If you're headed to those slot canyons, I know the last several weeks they've been a little bit dangerous with the risk for flash flooding. Not this weekend, though. It's going to be hot, though, at Arches and Canyonland, so maybe hike in the morning. Capitol Reef in the 80s, Bryce Canyon in the 60s, and Zion National Park, few clouds with temperatures well into the 80s. So pretty warm in the afternoon, so don't forget to stay hydrated and wear your sunscreen. Here is this storm system that's been impacting us all week long. It is now lifting towards the north and starting to kind of fizzle out, but you can still see some of these isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly over the mountains of northern and central Utah. But we got some, though, that are trying to push into the Tooele area, and also a few storms now rolling into Cache Valley. But most of the Wasatch Front is dry. But if you have a few thunderstorms nearby, they have a history of producing some pretty gusty winds. Future Track shows, though, as we roll through tonight, any outdoor plans, you should be okay. Maybe 1 or 2 lingering showers in central and northern Utah. Quiet weather tonight and into tomorrow morning. We'll be waking up to mostly sunny skies. And then by the afternoon, again, an isolated or a stray thunderstorm is possible, but not likely for your Saturday with quiet weather down south. We might have a few clouds, though, down in southern Utah. Generally, it's going to be partly cloudy. 91 in St. George, that's still below normal. Central Utah in the upper 70s and low 80s, and low 80s along the Wasatch Front. Park City, close to 70 degrees for your Saturday. But if you're going to be up towards Park City, again, those mountain areas, look up to the sky. There could be a couple pop-up thunderstorms tomorrow. More, though, on Sunday because of this storm system here that gets closer to Utah, pumps up that moisture, scattered storms on Sunday. It does look like maybe Monday could be our best chance for rain, especially across western Utah and maybe even a few storms to the south. And as this storm begins to roll into Utah, those temperatures will be a bit cooler early next week, even down in southern Utah. We're going to be near 90 this weekend, but by Monday it's 82 in St. George, and your normal is 95 degrees. So I know everyone in southern Utah is loving the lack of triple digits. However, we're going to be seeing a warm-up next week. Now, still some spotty storms in the mountains of southern Utah Tuesday, Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, we're in the mid to upper 90s. Salt Lake, low to mid 80s through Sunday, and then with the scattered storms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, highs will be in the upper 70s. And then right now, it looks like some drier air with highs climbing back into the 80s Thursday and Friday. But we're still cooling off, Heidi, overnight into the 50s and low 60s. That's almost free AC. Open up those windows. It's been very pleasant the last couple weeks now with these cooler temperatures.
Yeah, and if you go up the canyons, I think last weekend, you definitely need your sweatshirt and some jeans on because it cools off.
Yeah, 20, 30 degrees cooler. So yeah, you're talking 40s and 50s during the evening if you're up well into the mountains.
All right, sounds good. Glad we made it to the weekend. Well, as we head into the weekend, remember to download the 2 News weather app to know about changes in your neighborhood. The radar is awesome to have on hand. You can get those updated forecasts and live radar right on your phone. The app is free and easy to download. We are covering Washington County for you tonight, where crews have fully contained a wildfire that was burning starting yesterday in New Harmony. You can see on the map where the fire was burning in relation to the city and the interstate. The Utah Division of Natural Resources says the Harmony Ridge fire started last night, burned about 4 acres. As of 2:30 this afternoon, the fire's fully contained. It shows you it takes a while, even with just a few acres. Crews say no structures are threatened. Investigators say the fire was human caused. Well, 2 News has you covered as we head from the flooding season into the warmer months and wildfire season. Download the 2 News app for breaking news alerts to be alerted of fires and updates on those containment efforts. Let's go in depth now on the upcoming special election here in Utah. It's going to happen fast. Candidates are lining up to replace Congressman Chris Stewart's congressional seat. That's District 2. So far, 7 candidates have filed with the state to run in the special election. Stewart is leaving Congress officially on September 15th. It's all due to his wife's health challenges. He served since 2013. His district stretches all the way from northern to southern Utah. Today on my Take 2 podcast, we went in depth on the topic. Here's a bit of that conversation on the current candidates. There's actually been 3 more since we recorded in the last hour. Yeah, so we have a deadline on Wednesday. Today we have a new candidate in the Republican field, Alan Hatfield. And Alan, I apologize, I don't know a lot about you. So I'm going to have to do some research. That does concern me for Alan, though, because at this point he only has, well, not even 90 days to get the word out, to get the backing.
Few weeks to get name ID for convention.
Yeah. So Greg Hughes was, I think, the first one to file. Bruce Huff has filed. Becky Edwards and January Walker. Going through the list, Greg Hughes, if you don't know, was the former House Speaker here in Utah.
Also ran for governor.
Yeah. Bruce Huff, former committeeman for the Republicans. Becky Edwards ran for Senate.
And Bruce of fame is Derek and Julianne's
Oh, yes, we
father.
can't leave that out.
Let's remember Dancing with the Stars and everything else.
Yes. So it'll be interesting. Maybe they'll campaign for him. Becky Edwards is in it to win it as well. And then January Walker, United Utah Party, she ran in the last election. She said it wasn't her last, so she was true to her word. She's back at it again. Amy Winder Newton did come out and say she won't be running. She was on the rumored list, your former running mate. She says that she is going to stay where she thinks she's doing good work on the Salt Lake County Council and also working for the governor's office. So that leaves a few other people. And Mr. Dougal, you said you know of other people. Are you going to let it out of the bag, or are you going to hold the confidences of the people?
Before John finishes, we should also say Kathleen Reeby, the Democrat, has declared.
Oh, yes, she has
as
too.
has Ty Jensen, who would be a Republican. He was running for U.S. Senate in 2024, according to this, and he's also a declared candidate.
The special election will take place later this year. The primary, September 5th, and this is a race that likely will be decided in the primary, the Republican primary. A general election, November 21st. The deadline for candidates to file is next Wednesday, so there's a possibility we'll still see more candidates at this point. If you want to hear more on the special election, download this week's Take 2 podcast. We also discuss what former President Trump's indictment means for our country, the next presidential election, and the rule of law, and if it is being applied blindly. You can listen every Friday on KUTV.com, Spotify, or iTunes. Well, more than 40 local artists are showing off their skills at Utah's Hogle Zoo as part of the 2-day event known as Chalk the Zoo. This is amazing. Artists are creating lifelike animal-themed chalk art. The event runs through the weekend. You can vote for your favorite artwork. Awards will be given for the People's Choice and the Best in Show. You can see the chalk art starting at 9 tomorrow morning. Tickets cost about $20 a person. I'm always amazed by what they can do with chalk, and then I'm so sad that it's not permanent, especially if someone like Chase is ordering up rain this weekend.
I think you're going to be okay this weekend, because
Okay.
most of those storms might be Sunday afternoon, so tomorrow you should be just fine. And the weather's going to be very nice to check out Hogle Zoo. Of course, remember, we have a new zebra, right, that was just born a few
brand
days
new, and
ago.
they're naming it, I think.
That's right. So check out the new animals and now the new art exhibit at Hogle Zoo this weekend.
All right, very cool. It's going to be a great weekend. A reminder, you can find KUTV 2 News live on your phone, your tablet, your computer. You can stream our newscasts on the KUTV mobile app, Stirred, News On, and YouTube. They're all free, easy to download in the Apple App Store or Google Play. A lot of people are making big changes to how they watch news, and we're in a lot of those areas, so make sure you know where you can find us.
That's right. Thanks for watching 2 News Live. We'll be here 5:30 Monday through Friday. We hope you can join us again for more in-depth conversations on topics that impact you and your family. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.